Hello, it's Amanda. Um, so I wanted to do this video to show you how to check, again, prep time and prep work on a data sheet. Really critical because once you import it, it's there, and sometimes you get a really big file and it's just really kind of hard to eye it and make sure everything's okay. So I thought I'd show you a couple things that might make your life a little bit easier. Um, I know I've showed you how to properly capitalize all capital titles and whatnot, but the first thing you want to do when you get a file, and this is a junk file as far as I'm concerned, however, I'm going to use this as an example. So first of all, we want to check it's not rampant, but there are plenty of times when I get a file and there's duplicate SKU numbers. So on this one, I actually changed them all to be duplicate SKUs because I didn't want you to know who the parts were from, because I didn't. Anyway, so to find out if there's duplicates on something, you mouse over the particular column, right? So put your mouse up here, and you go up here to this conditional formatting. Now, depending on what year software you're using, this might be somewhere different, or it might look a little different, but find something that says conditional formatting. And when you click that, I just go in and go duplicate values, and it will turn it whatever color, right? If you say this, or let's try this, right? It will change the color of everything that's duplicate. And so to get that color to change back, either you can undo it, you can clear it, and you can say clear all of it, or you just make sure you change what it is, and then all of a sudden it goes away. So it's a real good indicator that, okay, I caught everything that was duplicate. And usually that is just in the SKUs, and possibly in a title that you might want to go in and make sure they are unique titles. I wouldn't do that for a description or a price, because that would be weird. I might do it for a UPC, and I've left these UPCs without pulling them out because, again, I don't want to show you whose brand this is, but you could do the same thing with the UPCs. Now, when we're going in a lot of times on categories or shipping, right, or even pricing, so just loaded a brand onto a client site, and out of 230 parts, 25 had prices. So how do you do that and do it quickly? So in any of your Excels, no matter what year, there's a tab that says data. So you click that and you hit the little filter button. And so what that does is it takes it and it gives you something up here and shows you everything that's in that. So again, with the weights, there's no weights in here. Womp womp. But you also can see when you do this that there's a spot that says blanks. And so for something like shipping or pricing or images or something like that, that would be really important. And for something like this, maybe if this wasn't weight, because it doesn't, or height, it doesn't matter, but maybe you're looking at some kind of material, or you're looking at some kind of field that you're going to use for left bar navigation or whatnot. You definitely might want to know if they've got 9 and 9.0, and you might want to know that. So when you click on this little drop down, it's selected all of it. But if you go, wait a minute, this shouldn't be a blank at all, you just unselect it and come down and ask it to show you just those that have blanks in them, and so it will. Now you'll see that these are no longer ordered, right? They're not, because it's only showing you those things that have blanks on it. And I'm going to quickly fix my cell height. Stupid CSV. All right, so this is only showing us the blanks, right? So out of these parts that were on here, it's only showing me the 500 that are blanks. And then I would go back up and I would select all of them again, and then it will pull it. And again, you can see now it's got all. So, same thing with categories. So categories are one of the most difficult things that you're going to deal with, right? So you're getting data from different sources and they're calling it different things. And so if you had something, let me do this. So if you had a data sheet, and I've seen these, right, where multiple brands on it or just even the same brand, but you want to go through here and make sure that this is correct. And what I just did here is I now have spark plugs and spark plug wires and spark plug wires. So I can go up here, unselect all of them, and tell it just show me, just show me this. And if I wanted to show it both, I could say show me both of them, right, and hit OK. And now all it's showing me is that, right? That's it. That's all it's showing me. And so I can say here, I'm going to copy this over, or you can find and replace. Be careful when you're finding and replacing something like this, because it might bleed over to a description or a title. But again, then I can make sure everything that I had on here was the correct word, right? And then just go back in and select all. If you have optimized your category tree and you're doing a Mustang or a Jeep or a truck, and you have done, you know, truck coil lead or Jeep crimp tool or whatever, I wouldn't use this. I would use this just to make sure I don't have battery cable and battery cables, right? Or if I knew on mine that it is battery cables, I would, you know, grab those and it'd be able to see. It'd also be able to tell me if I had any blanks. So if I had a missing category, oops, which one's missing? Because it now shows me the blanks, right? Select, unselect it, select all, and hit it, and that's the one I know I'm missing the category on. So I can just put in a name and select all again. I no longer have any blanks in that. But this is really helpful when you are when you're working a big file. And again, when you're working in CSV, if it does start to blow out, like it has a tendency to want to do, just mouse up over in your top, right click your mouse, and then come down here to row height. At least this is what I do, and I just go with 15. And that should have gone in and tightened all those back up, right? So so again, this one on descriptions, this is, do we want any blank descriptions? No. So let's unselect those and let's go see what part numbers before we import these have no descriptions, right? So these are the ones that have no descriptions. Anyway, it's just an easy way for you to be able to go in and check before you import, and that way you're not trying to check it once it was on the site. Something like this, I would definitely want to check pricing, right? We can see all of these are blank, but if we unselected and we just did this, it's only going to show me the ones that are blank, right? So all of these that are here have no shipping, and that's kind of crazy. So so yeah, I hope this helps. Again, if you have any questions about my videos, I just try and do them as I think about them, as I think what you might be going through as well. But time is a commodity, right? And so if you're spending time doing something that you shouldn't have to do, then that's important that we figure out a way to get it over. Oh, looky here. I bet you that this is full. Oh yeah. So if you're going to use this for the short description, look at, I don't know if you can see, but tons of these are, I'm going to take the filter off. Tons of these short descriptions have spaces before it, and that could render some different stuff and not look so great on your website, and it could cause bots to have issues. So just a real quick, you can turn it off if you already know how to do this. I'm just going to insert this, and I'm going to put the equal sign, and I'm going to put trim, and then once that comes up, I'm going to double click it. I'm going to tell it what cell I want to trim, and then I'm going to close it off with that second parentheses and hit enter. And now I'm going to go through, and I'm just going to run it through the entire file. Paste that in. Now that has trimmed up everything. You can kind of see where it's trimmed up, but this is still, if you click in here, that's not true, right? That is still a formula. So you now can copy the whole cell, and you can actually paste it in to, but paste special, right? So right click, paste special, and do values, and now all of that's trimmed up and it's true. It's not the formula anymore. And just go ahead and delete the formula. Don't forget to put your header back on. But yeah, that would have been ucky looking on the website. All right, hope that helps.